She was whispered to have slept with 100 men in one single night. A queen, a crown, and a rumour so scandalous it outlived her reign. But behind the sensational story lies a dangerous truth. This wasn't just gossip. It was politics, weaponized through whispers, designed to destroy a woman who dared to rule. And today, we'll uncover how a single rumour reshaped her legacy, and why history still won't let it go. Quick question for you. If you heard this about a queen, would you see her as a liberated icon or as a disgrace to the crown? Drop your honest answer below. I'm curious which side you're on. Every legend begins with a whisper. In this case, the tale of a queen entertaining 100 men in a single night first surfaced not in official records, but in the gossip-filled corridors of a royal court. Rumours spread faster than decrees, fueled by jealous courtiers and ambitious rivals. In an age where power was fragile and enemies lurked behind velvet curtains, one salacious story could end a dynasty. And this one did more damage than armies. Reputation was her battlefield, and she lost ground. She wasn't ordinary, and that terrified those around her. Bold, outspoken, and unwilling to submit quietly, this queen didn't fit the mold of silent consort. She challenged tradition, demanded influence, and expected her voice to matter. In a world where kings' affairs were celebrated, a queen daring to assert power was already scandalous. The rumour of 100 lovers wasn't born from her bedroom, it was born from her ambition. Ambition breeds enemies faster than power itself. Why not 10? Why not 50? Because 100 wasn't about accuracy, it was about impact. In medieval and early modern Europe, round numbers carried symbolic weight. 100 meant too many to count, a statement of wild excess, almost inhuman indulgence. The number was designed to shock, not inform. It painted her not as a woman, but as a force of chaos, out of control. Numbers can be weapons sharper than swords. In royal courts, gossip was currency. Enemies rarely attacked openly, they whispered. A rumour could assassinate a character more effectively than poison. And for this queen, the tale of 100 lovers became the perfect tool for rivals. Every smirk, every jest, every sly mention chipped away at her authority. Over time, the gossip wasn't just whispered, it was believed. A rumour repeated becomes a truth no one questions. Why attack her sexuality? Because it was the easiest target. A queen's legitimacy rested on purity, fertility, and her ability to embody virtue. By twisting her image into one of insatiable lust, her enemies didn't just shame her, they undermined her very right to rule. The accusation struck at the core of monarchy itself. If the queen was unfit, so was the dynasty she represented. Attack the body and you weaken the crown. Behind the laughter and the whispers were powerful hands pulling strings. Political factions, rival noble houses, and even foreign courts saw benefit in tarnishing her. For some, it meant weakening the crown. For others, it was about controlling succession. The rumour didn't survive because it was funny. It survived because it served. Every tale of 100 men gave her enemies ammunition. No rumour lasts long without someone feeding it. Why did ordinary people cling to the story? Because scandal is addictive. In an age without tabloids or television, rumours about the ruling class were the ultimate entertainment. For commoners burdened with daily hardship, tales of royal excess provided both outrage and escape. They could laugh, condemn, and gossip endlessly. And nothing spread faster than the idea of a queen gone too far. Scandal is fuel for the masses. So, did it really happen? Historians searching through letters, records, and eyewitness accounts find no credible evidence of one queen ever bedding 100 men in one night. But the lack of proof never killed the story. In fact, its very improbability gave it power. People wanted to believe because it fit the narrative her enemies built. Truth loses when a lie is more exciting. If you're still watching, clearly scandalous history fascinates you. Hit subscribe and ring the bell, because next week we'll uncover another royal secret that nearly toppled an empire. No rumour gained full power without the pulpit. The church, always keen to police morality, seized on the tale. Preachers thundered about the dangers of lust, using the Queen as a living cautionary tale. Her name became shorthand for sin, her supposed excess a sermon in itself. By condemning her, the church reinforced its own authority. Moral outrage is often a mask for control. What did she say in her defence? Rare letters and documents reveal a very different figure, educated, articulate, and deeply conscious of her reputation. In her words, we see not a temptress, but a strategist. She spoke of loyalty, of justice, and of dignity. Yet her voice was drowned out by rumour. The truth was preserved in ink, but the lie echoed in memory. Sometimes history chooses the louder voice, not the truer one. History is filled with queens maligned by whispers. From Marie Antoinette's alleged debauchery to Empress Messalina's infamous reputation, women in power were easy prey. Their ambitions were reframed as sins, their independence as scandal. The pattern is unmistakable. When men ruled, excess was forgiven. When women ruled, it was condemned. The crown fit heavy on a woman's head. Repeat a story long enough and it hardens into fact. Chroniclers, poets, and pamphleteers copied the tale until it left ink stains on history. Centuries later, textbooks mentioned the Queen's excesses without citing proof. A rumour born of malice became a permanent scar on her legacy. Repetition is history's cruelest weapon. Why do people love stories of scandal? Because outrage is magnetic. Neuroscience shows that shocking tales trigger stronger emotional reactions than neutral ones. The Queen's rumour wasn't just gossip. It was entertainment that kept listeners hooked. Outrage spreads faster than admiration, and it lingers longer. People didn't need evidence, they needed a thrill. Outrage is addictive fuel. Kings paraded mistresses openly, fathered dozens of illegitimate children, and were praised as virile. Queens, meanwhile, faced ruin over a whisper. The same actions, judged by opposite standards, reveal how power was gendered. The Queen's supposed 100 lovers wasn't shocking because of numbers. It was shocking because she was a woman. Same act, opposite judgment. Artists and writers couldn't resist the scandal. Poets turned the rumour into verse, painters depicted her with knowing smiles, and playwrights wove her into cautionary tales. Over time, the fictionalised Queen became more famous than the real one. Her supposed excess became a symbol of decadence, a warning carved into culture. Art immortalizes lies as easily as truth. Think it's just ancient history? Hardly. Today, celebrities and politicians still fall victim to exaggerated rumours, scandals of affairs, addictions, and secret lives. Tabloids thrive on the same principle. The wilder the tale, the faster it spreads. A queen once damned by 100 lovers is no different from a star dragged across Twitter today. Technology changes, human appetite for scandal does not. The scandal wasn't really about her private life, it was about control. Rumours served as a leash, keeping powerful women in check. By branding her as excessive, society reinforced its own rules. A woman who reached too high must be pulled down. Her 100 lovers were never real men. They were chains forged from gossip. The rumour was punishment in disguise. Centuries later, what remains? Not the names of her supposed lovers, but her courage, her defiance, and her refusal to be silent. The rumour lingers, but so does her resilience. She became more than the scandal. She became a mirror reflecting how power treats women. Scandal fades, legacy endures. So was she guilty of excess, or simply guilty of being powerful? In the end, her story isn't about one night, but about centuries of judgment. When you hear the next rumour about someone in power, ask yourself, is this fact or just theatre? And if this fascinated you, stick around. Our next story uncovers a ruler whose darkest secret nearly tore an empire apart.